TxStampin Sharon. I have got lots of pretty cards to share with you today and some different ideas. I learned something new and I always love sharing new things with you guys. So I hope that you will enjoy this video. I'd love to hear your comments down below. Let me know what you think about this new idea I have or that I discovered. If you do not currently have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would be honored to help you with your Stampin' Up! Supply needs. You can find my website, my blog, and how to contact me in the description box below. Let's get started. So what is the new thing I learned? I learned to emboss designer series paper. I bet you cannot see it on the camera, but I promise you. So I embossed this one with a different embossing folder, but see, there's the leaves. And it just gives a different texture to the DSP. So I've got some other ideas I'm going to share with you, and maybe and share with you which folders I tried. I'm like addicted now. I can't stop doing this. So we're going to be using Timeless Tropical and the In the Tropics dies. This is sold as a bundle. So my layer of Whisper White cardstock thick, which is my preferred cardstock base, or a colored cardstock, but this measures 5.5 by 8.5, scored and folded at 4 1/4. Have my layer of DSP that is 4 inches by 5 1/4. I did this sentiment a little bit bigger than on my other cards, but it doesn't really matter about the sentiment size. Just use whichever measurements fit your sentiment layer. But this measures 1 1/4 by 3 inches. And then my Real Red cardstock is 3 1/4 by 1 1/2. Now, there's something else that I learned too. If I could emboss on designer series paper with an embossing folder, why can't I emboss on designer series paper with embossing powder? Oh yeah, so fun. I tried several different ways to do my flower, and I didn't like it on just solid cardstock. It just was, it didn't have much personality. But you can see the words, the little scripty words behind my flower, which is from, this is the Bratz 6x6 designer series paper. You get a couple of sheets of each color that's in the Bratz collection. So there we go. And then I took this paper and I flipped it over and stamped some leaves. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to do this part first. We're going to rub our embossing buddy. Get our Versamark out. Ink up our flower. Next, we're going to pour our embossing powder over the leaf, over the flower. And then we're going to emboss it. And while we have our heat gun good and hot, we're going to go ahead and do some leaves. And now we'll emboss that. Go ahead and stamp our sentiment. We are making birthday cards. Lots and lots of birthday cards. I forgot to say, if you are new to my channel, if you just now found me, I want to welcome you. I invite you to hit the subscribe button below and then hit the notification bell. You'll be notified every time I upload a video on YouTube. We're also going to be using some of the trinkets, and I have fallen in love with trinkets. These little trinkets are from the Tropical Oasis trinkets, and it's part of the Tropical Oasis suite. So we're going to add some snail to the back of our sentiment. And add that on there. We're going to add some dimensionals, and I'm putting the dimensionals at the top and the bottom. And you'll see why in just a minute. So I have my designer series paper, and I'm going to use the braided jute. I'm just going to place this over and just cut it. So actually, I have to share something with y'all. I have been doing something called mystery stamping. Mystery stamping is where I give you clues to use the supplies that you have to make a card. Now, you don't know what the finished card is going to look like until we're all done. I give, I don't know, 10, 12 clues. And so this card right here was actually my Facebook Live mystery stamping that I did Monday, March the 30th. And I have given the same clues, used different things on other mystery stampings that I do with my team, and every card turns out different. It's super fun. I will add the link down below to my business Stampin' Up Facebook page, and you are invited to join us and stamp along. So we're just going to add that on there. The liquid glue really holds that jute in place. All right, we're going to pop these up. I'm not going to pop that up with dimensionals, but I'm going to pop up the flower. Let's go ahead and add this to our card first. I like to use liquid glue to really get in all of those embossed areas. So we're going to pop this onto our Whisper White base. We're going to add some snail. Normally I would add liquid glue, but because my flower is going to go over that leaf, I feel like I'm pretty safe keeping it secured, not popping off. That there. And the reason that I put the dimensionals on the top and the bottom is because I wanted to kind of clear my jute. Next, we're going to take one of the trinkets. Now, you wait till you see my other ideas because they don't look anything like this card. And I just love it. It's the same clues and they all look different. We're going to add this right there. Okay, let's show you the other cards. How about this one? Can you see that I use the Coastal Weave embossing folder? Oh, maybe right there. Can you see it in that? Okay, so all I did was kind of spotlight the pattern because none of the stamps in the stamp set really went with this paper. So I just decided, just spotlight the paper. Punch a hole in the designer series paper before you emboss it, and then pop it up with a layer of colored cardstock. This one I just cut out with the stitched dies, with the stitched dies, and placed it like that. But look, it's all the same elements. Can y'all see? Here, let's move this one. All the same elements. We got the ribbon, got the sentiment, got the image. Okay, well, let's turn it. How about this? I did the same thing, punched out the cardstock with a circle punch and then popped it up on a layer. And so now that's different. So some of the embossing folders that I used was the Tufted 3D. And I don't know if you can see it. A little bit, it's really hard on the camera, but it gives your cardstock some texture. And then here's the Coastal Weave. You can see it better on the solid, but you can see it. Can you see it on this paper, on this side? And that is the Basket Weave. And then here's that Coastal Weave again. Can you see the texture? You can see it good on the solid side, but you can still see it in person. I know it's hard to pick up on the camera because I've been trying to take pictures of these, but I'm telling you, so fun. And let me show you where I got that idea. So in the mini catalog, that's good until the end of June, I was looking at some cards and I was looking at this one. I was like, oh, they embossed the designer series paper. So if you will notice, this is my inspiration for these cards. I simply dropped down my sentiment a little bit, This one I did kind of overlap like they did here, but this was my inspiration for all of these cards. Love it. I hope you did too. Please let me know what you think. I love those thumbs up too, by the way, guys. Happy stamping, y'all.